Make this one piece of content to remove friction.
Let's get into it.
Video Mavericks, the small business video marketing podcast. Presented by Workshop Media. With your hosts, Brett and Jeff, sharing a combined 40 years of video production and marketing experience. Take it away.
Confused customers don't convert, period. If you're relying on them to fill in the blanks with their imagination, you're not leading the charge. You're not controlling your narrative for your business. Your brand should be in charge of your business, and it should be doing the work for your customer. They got to think about what's next and how to do this, or where they can get your product or service or whatever it is. That's a problem. Yeah,
I mean, the whole name of the game is removing friction. It's making A to B as simple and straight line as possible. The first example that comes to mind, I think about going to like a Chick-fil-A. Their drive-through experience has removed 100% of the friction.
So much so that it's improving other businesses not in the fast food and restaurant chain industry.
But they went to a point of simplifying, and so what we're suggesting here is that you can use your video content to remove friction in your specific world and the way that your customers interact with you.
Yep. And it's twofold, right? So you're going to get a customer that has very little to no barrier to interaction. And also you're going to compete with your competition. The more you do to make your process seamless, to make the interaction as friction-free as possible, as stress-free as possible, as clear as possible, the better chances you have, to beat your competition is probably not doing that. We're all kind of doing the same thing. If you think about the noise of businesses competing, clear video that provides that clarity and that frictionless process is going to be how to keep you on top.
And if you have engineered processes in your business to remove friction, but you haven't conveyed that with people so that they can understand that something has been put together for them to improve their experience, then you're not taking full advantage of the work that you've done to remove the friction. So, maybe it's not, there could be a case where you're not explaining to remove friction, but you're explaining that you removed friction,
Yeah.
Which is a sort of a different topic, but
So what video type, what one piece of content are we suggesting is going to be what removes that friction?
It's an explainer. So it's the what we would suggest comes after you've established brand. An explainer is going to get at the nuts and bolts of how to interact with the business.
Yeah, a bit of the consideration phase of the sales funnel. You think about where it lands. It comes after the brand story, the about us, the awareness and recall. Now, a short explainer. And when people hear explainer, a lot of times it's about animation, right? It's
the classic whiteboard explainer.
And it's not that those don't work, but everything we do is built on humanizing, using story in a way to humanize your brand, make it more approachable, to remove the veil a little bit, right?
That's it.
So we're talking about an explainer, a humanized explainer. So why does it matter?
People won't buy what they don't understand at a very fundamental level.
If it's very easy and it's that simple to come in and interact and spend money, I know everything I'm going to get. I know how this works. I know the hours of operation. I know the process in which the sale happens. I know what the return policy is. Whatever specific information you want to get out there to them, it's going to remove all of those hurdles and get you to cash quicker. Yeah,
let's assume that they already are poised to want what it is that you're selling. At that point, maybe they don't know that they need it from you, but they already are in the market to purchase a thing that your business is selling. And so don't get in the way.
Yeah. Make it clear. Don't overthink it.
Yeah.
Being clever it works, right? But if it gets in the way of clarity and, again, removing all obstacles, right? So this one video can reduce confusion. It can boost confidence in you and the customer.
Yep.
It can also destroy the confidence of your competition. No, we don't want that. We do want you to be ahead of your competition, but not not at all costs. And then increasing conversions, setting in that customer journey, setting yourself up for success and the customer up for the next part of that process. We talk about the testimonial next. We'll kind of be on the backside of that explainer, right? Which is a great way to just take that consideration phase and launch into conversion from there. So this one video is a great way to do that. What would you suggest as an example of a good explainer for?
So we've used the example of Rise and Shine Bakery. So that's an easy one to bring back around.
It's like a small town, local mom and pop shop. Okay.
Yep, small town, local bakery. An explainer in that case might be literally telling folks where you're located, showing that the parking situation is easy, that they can come in and all of the things that are for sale are going to be displayed for them. You can show them that. You can show them that, the best things are available during these hours and that these items are made fresh daily. Just specifically showing people how they can go from understanding that you exist to interacting with you, laying the groundwork for them to come in and see for themselves.
Your customer has a pain point, has a desire, a need, and you have the solution to that. And as a human in your business, delivering this information to them in a video, you can apply creative after, right? You could be fun with it after, but just a human delivering this information, crystal clear, plain as day.
Yeah, if you think about maybe like another example would be like a lawn care service, letting the viewers see that you arrive with one vehicle and one trailer and 3 crew, and you're going to have 2 mowers and 1 person with a leaf blower, and they're going to do the whole space, this average residential place, and they're going to do it in 30 minutes. And when you leave, the space is going to be clean and clear. And just showing people what that looks like, literally explaining what the thing is. And
what is that going to do for the audience? It's going to remove all fog. It's going to remove the need to imagine what's it like. I bought this thing. They're going to show up there. Are they going to park in the neighbor's yard? Are they going to block the driveway? Am I going to get my mail? No, the explainer does that. It's going to make it just plain as day. And that is huge for what that's going to do for your customer's journey. It's simple.
You're answering a question before they have an opportunity to ask it, and that's or
that's
before they even
a lead,
or
right?
before they even have the opportunity to have a concern. You're going
because you've assuaged those already.
Don't worry, I wasn't worried. Hang on.
Wait, worry? What do you mean? You're already handling it.
Yeah.
And especially, like if you've already gotten some of this information where you've had to, to where we're going to park, that kind of point. If you've already answered that question, then it's a question.
That's right.
There's a possibility it could be asked again, or at least thought of again.
Yep.
So include it. Yep. We've done it with a handful of videos. What's it like when we show up to your business to film a video? What are some of the things that we go over? What do we expect of your space? What should you expect of us? This is how it's going to go to remove all of the uncertainty.
Or like we have a piece of content that's how it works. So it's literally how to go from knowing about us to interacting with us.
In 3 easy steps.
It's 3 steps. We broke it down and made it simple. That video is short and to the point.
And it's doing very well. People have talked about how they've gotten from discovering who we are to making it all the way through to a discovery call, how easy it was in that video doing that for us. It used to be sending emails out or being on the phone, and simplifying that is huge. So this video removes that friction.
Yeah, and so it's important to keep these, keep them concise and to the point. You need to cover what you need to cover, but don't belabor. Respect people's time.
Yep.
And then making it visually engaging and ultimately a human connection in that process. Doesn't necessarily mean it has to be a person on camera talking, but there should be the human element of it. Could be a warmth in the voice. There could be showing the impact on people. It could be just knowing who your audience is and appealing to them by showing them the things that they're going to care about. So that's what we mean by making it human. That makes it different from the whiteboard explainer that is not really related at all to the person watching it.
Yeah, and then so a piece of content is better than no piece of content. So that explainer would be good. What's going to be great is putting your staff in it.
Yes.
or, whoever that point of contact is when somebody comes through the door, ding, ding, hey, how's it going?
Let me actually see the thing.
Yeah.
Let me see the thing, not the idea of the thing. Let me see the thing.
Yep. So another way to use this humanized explainer, there's not just one, you can do many, right? You can explain the process. You can make a series of small vignettes, right? Mm-hmm. Explain the process of purchasing this particular item. What this looks like. From this step to this step, this is how it goes.
Yeah.
Explain hours of operation. Parking, and we validate parking if you bring your ticket in. Explain any of these little things, make little videos, and continue to just populate your channels and use them in sales outreach and use them in, on your website, on your socials, and email campaigns.
They could be placed anywhere that you see a pinch point in your process, any place where it tends to get bottled up with any level of confusion because maybe the process is a little bit more complicated. That's a great place to drop in an explainer to clear things up before it becomes a problem. Yep. Anytime you have a touch point with a customer where you are interacting in some way, an explainer may be better suited than you having to have that touch point.
Yep.
So, at the onboarding phase, that's an opportunity for an explainer. At the, the closing of the project, the what's next, that's an opportunity for an explainer.
Right.
The point of sale might be an opportunity for an explainer. So anywhere you can provide clarity is kind of the idea here.
Yep.
And using video is particularly useful because you have an opportunity to really hash out those details and cater it so cleanly and so clearly that the viewer will get exactly what they need, nothing else. They'll get it when they need it and where they need it so that it's easier for them to ultimately patronize the business.
And you have that ability with video to connect emotionally. An explainer seems like it's just nuts and bolts, here it is, but you still have the ability to connect emotionally. And there's you got to think about that baton. You're getting it from the foundation, the brand story, you're doing your work and you're handing it off to a testimonial. For each one of those explainers you decide to make, let's say you make all of them, onboarding and the sales process and this and this and this, have a testimonial that supports each one of those. Onboarding, I went through that. I went through that process and this is it. Yeah, validated parking, it's actually pretty amazing because the parking deck is right behind the building.
Yep.
Blah, 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 blah. Make those things. Think about the journey of the customer and how video is not this artistic thing that you can choose whether or not you should use it. These are assets that make your job so much easier and ultimately are going to lead to increased revenue, flat out. If you use these assets, that's what it's doing. We're all consuming videos every day, all the time.
It also save you some headache of having to say the same thing over and over again.
Right.
We've talked about those in like FAQ, frequently asked question videos. This is in a slightly different scale than a specific FAQ, but the idea is still the same. It's you can save yourself the energy of having to explain your parking situation every single time. Here, I'm going to send you this video. We'll, if you have any questions, let me know. Yep. We'll see you on Thursday. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. It's kind of a no-brainer.
It is. It's a no-brainer.
It seems so silly, but
it doesn't have to be a Hollywood-produced thing either.
Solve a problem.
That's right.
If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. We release episodes each week packed full of insights on how to grow and scale your business with strategic video marketing.
That's right. And if you're ready to take the next step with your business, join us in our brand storytelling workshop. In just 90 minutes, we'll work with you and your team to uncover your brand message, align everyone around a clear narrative, and map out the exact videos that will move your business forward. This is a custom, strategic session built around your unique goals. Learn more and book your session at brandstoryworkshop.com.